Right at it. Right at it. Oh, he's done it again. Just as he did at the John Deere for his first win.
Alrighty, welcome to the 51st episode, I believe, of the Go Get That podcast. We are previewing the Scottish Open as we look into the links swing, I guess you could say, because there really isn't much to talk about for the Pro-Am. He was disqualified, but he really wasn't. He played 36 holes. We just don't know what he shot, even though I do have people on the ground saying that he went 2 over and then 5 under. So a good second day, which is nice. So he did play his own ball, apparently. But again, we don't really know. It's a Pro-Am. I couldn't care less. If he'd won this week, I would not have cared any bit more. So the only thing that would have been was we have more reason to believe he's winning the Open shots, but this win means nothing, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Schauffele is loose.
Really?
On a heater. No, I don't
you think that this is
Xander Legion thinks that, but
do you think that this
Xander's playing really, really well right now?
Yes.
You got to be playing good enough, even if
I personally have crossed him off of open contention for a win. But he does have the game going into it for sure. Looking at the Renaissance Club, just a gem of a golf course. It is a absolute beauty. They don't play the Scottish Open every year here, but they did last year, and I believe they're coming back next year. So I don't know. It's like one of those things we're doing like 2 years, and then they play it a lot. It's not every year, but this course is a beauty. It's a link style course. It will be really fun to watch. That's for sure. I'm not sure how the coverage works, but I believe there will be featured groups.
There are featured groups on ESPN Plus. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's good.
And ESPN Plus will have everything. Main feed. They'll have their normal. They won't have 3 groups in the waves, though. I don't think.
There's 2 groups. Yeah, there's
2 groups.
Just 2 groups per wave, which is still
2
good.
streams, I'm pretty sure.
And then we have Shot Tracker, obviously. I don't know if Torcast is going to be up, but Bet365 will definitely be going.
Yeah, I doubt
Torcast. Or any of the betting sites you use, because all of them use the same. But yeah, so we'll definitely have some sort of Shot Tracker. We'll definitely have some sort of coverage. I'm not sure when the coverage starts, but we'll get some for sure. The winning score here, I'm going to cue to Jordan because he usually is the one who remembers that stuff. What is the winning score here usually?
You're asking the wrong person, my friend.
Really?
Like I don't pay attention. It's the first time they've been
true.
Tour event.
It's the first time.
But, just looking at the weather, it doesn't look like it'll be too windy for Scotland. I mean, in the 10 to 20 mile per hour range at the moment, it looks like. So nothing too crazy there.
It doesn't look like it's going to be very windy for tournament days, unfortunately.
No. It's a par 70 at 7,237 yards. So like with not a lot of wind, I'd assume the winning score will be in the 13 to 16-ish range. I think that's what Minwoo won it last year.
Yeah, I've got the history of it right here. This is the 40th event. Yeah, so it's a lot of it's kind of upper teens. Minwoo was at 18 last year in a playoff with Dietrich and Fitzpatrick. And then the other 2 at the Renaissance were Aaron Rye in 2020 at 11 under. And in 19, it was Bernd Wiesberger at 22 under. 3 straight playoffs here. So that's something to.
Do they have a playoff bet on FanDuel?
I don't know if they have it on FanDuel. Here, I have it right now. I do not see tournament stuff. No, I don't see it on FanDuel, but you could probably find one out there. That's not necessarily a bad bet to place. Be cool if there's a playoff this year. I think last year they had it where they had the double screen of the John Deere Classic and the Open, and it was kind of a mess on Golf Channel's part, especially because like Minwoo Lee is a really young guy and fit. I mean, just the Scottish playoff is way better than watching Sebastian Munoz on the third hole at the John Deere. So I don't know what they were thinking, but now it's, it's its own event. It's got a OWGR, I think, of 70 to the winner, which is
very good.
It's one of the few events this year that's above like the 600 total threshold, which has basically been the match play, the majors, Riviera, the players. And I think that's it. I don't think Memorial got that high. Arnold Palmer didn't get that high, I don't think. So it's a big time field. And, it's not surprising. I think the top 3 in the world are here. 8 of the top 12, maybe. I have to double check that, but it's pretty loaded.
Yeah, it's when the schedule came out, we knew Jordan was going to play it. It's probably the biggest, the non-major I've most been looking forward to. You just look at the golf courses that Spieth has played since he's got overseas. He played La Hinch and obviously Adair Manor, and you just look at these courses and they're just so cool. They're completely different from what we get here, and it's golf in its natural element, and he usually plays well over there, so there's a lot to be excited about.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. I think me and Jordan and maybe Dan have been on the same boat where we've kind of wanted him to play this event for a while.
Yeah,
it's nice for him to get some warm up going into Links Golf at the Open because, going from the Travelers Championship, which is basically as far away of Links Golf as you can get besides the fescue. Links Golf, you don't get much wind up in Connecticut, and that course is short and long rough, and that's just not the playing style to be getting at the Open and the Scottish Open. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really, really enjoyable for the week. Hopefully he plays well, because obviously a 7:00 local tee time on Sunday would be more.
Yeah, that would be brutal. The tee times are out, and he's got the early late draw, 13 a.m. on Thursday Eastern. So if you are, I think 15, I think that's right. So if you're on the West Coast, you might not go to sleep, I guess. But yeah, it's always fun to do this. I don't know how excited I'll feel for it, because when it's the Open, it's like I don't need much help staying awake, because it's just fascinating. And especially this year at St. Andrews, I think it's going to be, going to have no trouble staying awake and watching something at 3 a.m. But for the Scottish, if he gets off to kind of a sluggish start, which he's been doing recently, the eyelids might get a little heavy, I'll say. But thankfully, Bob will be 5 cups of coffee in at that point, I think.
Well, unfortunately, I don't drink coffee.
Good.
Funny story, I was on a trip with a few of my friends from school for like this conference for like a week, and I loaded up on coffee because every day was 6 o'clock to like 2 o'clock in the morning, repeat for 6 days straight. And I basically lived on coffee, and the taste was just, it's so bad. I don't know what's appealing to everyone. I tried every different mixture possible, 8 sugars, 6 creams. I tried a caramel. It was impossible to get it to taste good. So I'm a big tea guy. I love iced tea. So that's usually my caffeine flow. I love Arnold Palmer's, but Pure Leafs are really good. I love drinking those. So that would be what I run on this week. So not sponsored, but shout out to Pure Leaf, lemon tea.
If you want to sponsor us, we have an email on YouTube that you can check.
Yes, go get that. If anyone from Pure Leaf is listening, we will gladly be your official podcast if you like. But
you'll be the official tea of the Go Get That podcast.
We're happy to do it. I'm more than happy to be up tracking through the night, even if he's out of contention. This is 2 weeks a year for everything that you guys have given us. It's not that big of an ask to do it for 2 weeks of the year. This is not like Jordan's playing full time on the tour where it would be a lot harder, but it's in the middle of the summer. 3:15 is very early, but again, I'm going to get up really early tomorrow so that I can be tired enough to go to bed at like 9:30. And then I'll maybe take a nap. I don't know. I don't usually take naps unless I'm sick. I took a nap after the US. I took a long nap when I got home from, what was this early round at the US Open, Jordan? Was that Thursday or Friday? That was Thursday? Yes, because it was the second day I was there. So after the practice round. So Thursday, I was up at 4:00 and walked that golf course. I got back into my car at like 2 or 3, and I fell asleep on my armrest in the car, like on the like armrest for like 40 minutes, just to like give me like something to drive home with. Like I had nothing left in the tank. And then I got home at 4:30 because the traffic was devastating. And I fell asleep till 9. So it took a lot out of me walking that golf course after being up at 4. I don't think it will have the same effects just, sitting at my desk watching him play, but obviously it's definitely tiring. But I mean,
I think walking 6 miles is a little bit worse.
just a little
sitting in a chair.
Well, the worst part is Dunkin' isn't open till 5.
You got DoorDash?
But it's not open till 5.
Yeah, but you can at least get a DoorDash to you so you can still stay in your bed or your chair and, get up when you hopefully between shots and go get it from the door.
Yeah, but like I'm gonna be hungry. Like when I wake up, I need something to munch on. Like
we'll go get in the kitchen.
Away.
Make sure you have stuff ready.
Yeah.
Won't be a lazy schmuck.
Meal prep.
I mean, what's the tea time? 3:15?
Yeah.
3:15's early. I think at the Open last year, he was like 4:25 or something like that.
Yeah. It's not.
It's early, but
Well, the difference is 4:30 is like an hour that normal people wake up at sometimes.
Yeah.
And 3:15 is just like the dead middle of the night.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll be done with this round before most people are into work. Which is,
I'll be going into work when he's done. I mean,
that's timing for you. That's perfect.
Yeah.
You can watch.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how Skip Bayless does it. Apparently, he gets up at 2 every day. So you have to channel
BS on that.
I don't know, man. He's posted it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to channel his your inner Bayless this week. Jordan, what are you running on? Bob's got his iced tea and his Dunkin'. You're gonna have your.
I was debating doing this. I was debating going for a little walk before 3:15. You can call me crazy, but no, I'll probably
psycho.
I'll probably just go coffee and water. If you know how to brew good coffee, Bob, coffee's very good, but that's another story.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm still in my early days. But no,
coffee. I don't like the taste, but I think apparently it's acquired. So,
I've heard that. There's some people that like can't live with coffee, and that's like, I never want to be one of those people, because there are people that like, they're like unbearable before they have at least a cup, and that's brutal. But anyways, back into, we'll shift from beverages to Spieth, I guess. His form is weird. I really don't have any expectations this week, but from everything I heard, he putted it a lot better this week.
That's hilarious.
Which makes sense because I said I thought that he'd putt better on European greens just because they're not as fast, and he knows that.
I say that's sorry.
What?
I say that's hilarious because it's like 4:00 this afternoon. We're recording this at 9 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday night. I'm like, I don't know if this is a bold take or not, but I think the putter is going to be good to really good these next 2 weeks, and he's just going to hopefully have to find the ball striking. I don't know if that's bold or not, but I just think the putter will be good.
That's concerning is that he hasn't had a good putting day yet when he needs one, which is why I feel like even if he gets the confidence and putts well 7 straight rounds, if he's in contention at the Open on Sunday, I feel like he hasn't had that confidence in a big round with a putter yet that could be not.
Yeah.
Like,
in fairness to him, he hasn't had a lot of big rounds either.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Well, in fairness, but also.
So not a good thing, no.
Yeah.
My expectations are actually pretty low this week for the Scottish. And I think it's mostly because I doubt he's seen the Renaissance Club that much.
No.
And if he's gonna get one day at it, because he obviously was at Adaria Manor, which that course is sick, by the way.
That course is
that Ryder Cup in 2027 is gonna be awesome. But he's going to have one day. He's probably going to play 9 holes or something, right? Like,
yeah,
he's going to have Michael walk the back and he'll play the front. Like, it'll be some. So
it's just a tune-up. It's a tune-up.
Right, which is a little disappointing because he could win it, right? But I don't think his games, and I said this in the recap, I just don't think he can, like, put his game in cruise control in any aspect of it. Like, I think there always needs to be some fine tuning and some, like, keep working on something as of right now. There's
I still feel like he's searching. I don't think we're quite there yet, which is frustrating, but again,
I don't know if I'd say searching though. I think it's just like
I still think he's battling within himself in the middle of a round still.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there's still a little too much going through his head when he's playing.
But golf. I think a lot of that is I feel like when the putter's hot, everything else seems to come because that's just like how golf works. Like when the putter's rolling, that's the momentum club. If you can get the putter going, I feel like everything else will come a lot easier because you don't have to be like, all right, I can't hit a putt, so I have to put this to 3 feet. Like you can start being okay with a 12-footer and not having to put too much pressure on yourself from 170 yards. Which definitely loosens up the swing.
Yeah, and I agree. And this is like, I mean, next week at the Open is final peak of the season. Like,
yes,
about the playoffs. Like, it's the final, like, all right, let's see what you've got. Let's see what you've been working for the past 7 months. Let's see where it's at. He knows it. Everybody playing knows it. And so you're right. I think if the putter is there, I think the rest of it will be enough there. And at the end of the day, like if he has the best putting week of his life and wins, nobody's going to care that he hit it like crap, right? Because it doesn't matter.
I don't give a crap how he wins then.
No, I could not give less of a
Of course, for the Open. And if you win, right? Or even if you get a result and you putt amazing, but you can't hit it, who cares, right? It's the final, it's the final like exam or whatever. But
this is, I think I read a tweet today and I very much agree with it. Just with everything going on in the golf world. I forget to tweet it, probably either Rappaport or Porter, one of them. With everything going on in the world of golf right now, and given how historic this golf course is, this is most likely this is probably the biggest major of the decade.
Yeah, I think
said 20 years, I believe.
Since maybe even
that
2000.
was Kyle.
Bigger than the PGA, Bob. I told you. Just kidding.
Well, for us, I'd rather win the PGA.
I
but
know.
in terms of overall scale, this is the most important major that has been played in a very long time.
Yeah, and not to bring Tiger into it, but a lot of it I think has to do with Tiger.
Well, Tiger playing is big.
Well, it could be his last like real chance at St. Andrews if you think he even has his like real chance this week.
I think that this is one of the only courses left on the road that he could win at. Has he ever won here? Yes.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yes.
He's good.
Really?
Yeah.
Twice?
Yeah.
2005. Right?
They come to St. Andrews pretty
Like every 6 years.
regularly. Yeah.
I think they try to every 5 years. It just wasn't in 2020
so.
because
It didn't work out that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
5 2000. So
Yeah, I think that sometimes they add because they threw kind of Portrush into the mix, I think, and that hadn't been in.
Which was sick, by the way.
Well, yeah, Portrush was great, but they try and keep St. Andrews around. It'd be cool if they put Prestwick back in. I don't know what those.
they can't. It's just too short.
too short. Yeah, I think that I saw it was like 67 or something like that, 68, which that ain't gonna cut it.
I mean, they could go like full Southern Hills and have freaking tee boxes in front of greens and stuff and lengthen it, but obviously joking.
Yeah,
I know you love that, Bob.
I've ruined the experience of the Southern Hills. Again, I just wasn't that high on Southern Hills at all. I don't know. Again, I feel like, but again, I still feel like of everything going around, this was his best overall schedule to win a major that he'll have probably for the rest of his career, and he hasn't contended in a single one, which is very frustrating.
In terms of venues, yeah,
it's one of the only years where you'll have every venue fitting your game, which, well, first of all, starts with the US Open, because he's not really going to get many, because again, I don't even think Chambers Bay is a spot that fits his game to a T.
No.
I think he was just that good at that point.
He was that good.
But I mean, yeah, the Country Club, and what are some other venues he could win at?
I think he could win.
I think he can win Marion.
He could win a Marion. He could win a Pebble.
I don't know. I mean, look, I think he could win anywhere.
There's
when he's on, he can win anywhere. But
I
like,
don't
even
want
when
to
he's
small,
on,
but there's definitely a chance that he never picks off another US Open in his career.
he knows that. That's just a problem.
He knows that. Yes. But he still thinks he's getting to 18. So
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, and we'll get into this more in the Open preview.
Yeah, we're talking a lot.
But the majors this year have been very disappointing. And so to kind of
understatement,
St. Andrews has got to be a good week to make it feel like a better season than it has been, even though I think it's been a low key. I don't know if we'll have to do something at the end where we talk about how the past two seasons.
Well, I think the biggest thing is
but
great players pick off wins out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And that's what he did this year, which is very, because you feel like in all the previous years, he's got so close, because even in 2019, 2018, 2017, he was 7 under after the first round leading, never gave himself a chance.
Yeah.
Like, he picked off a win out of nowhere this year with no putter, which is very good to see, because if you can just do that on your bad years, that's how you sustain. That's how you sustain being a top player in the world.
I mean, that's what DJ did.
That's what DJ did. That's what Rory does when he's not on his best.
Yeah. Rory won twice last year, and it was a down.
Rory won twice last year with no form. I mean, obviously he's got form now, but he won the Wells Fargo and the CJ Cup with no contention in the previous month up until then. So we'll see. I do think Dan's right. I think we need to have a little discussion at the end of the year, but I think that for me to not walk away with this year being a tragedy in the majors. I need to be thinking going into Sunday, we have a chance to win this. If I'm not thinking that, then this is a big disappointment. If he's not within 2 or 3 shots to lead on Sunday, or at least within 5 with very few people in front of him, it's going to be very disappointing. Especially
sorry.
So this will all be talked about in the open preview, but again,
yeah, the whole conversation.
I would gladly sign up for a win this week as well.
Obviously, but the whole conversation is just so stupid because like he can win the Open, and obviously he would take this year over last, but he was just way more consistent last year.
Yeah,
that's it's so like that's what you talk about picking off wins.
Yeah,
like it just changes the entire view on the season without consistency.
Well, yeah, I think.
Think about where we put this year without RBC.
It's been really poor.
Really,
I don't know if you can. The thing about saying that though is like he could have easily won Pebble. He could have easily won Byron Nelson.
Yeah, but he lost Pebble because he got beat. He never should have won the RBC.
Right, but that's my point. Is he get this? How many times does Tom Hoagie beat him at Pebble?
How many times?
How many times does KH Lee? I mean, I get he is a Mr. Ranch merchant, but like Jordan shot 25 under and lost.
I want to be fair here, though. Like we're talking about Pebble Beach and the Byron Nelson. Like these aren't big time events either, Dan.
They're still wins.
Which hold on.
I mean, they're wins, but
I will attest to Dan. A win is a win on the PGA Tour as long as it's not like the John.
It's a win, but it's not a high quality win.
Right, and he hasn't been
more. I think the more thing is that it's at courses he always plays well at. Not necessarily the Byron Nelson, but the Pebble specifically.
And
that's more concerning than the field strength.
He hasn't been good in any big events though.
Yeah, that's my
point. Name like a marquee event, and his best finish might be Memorial, which is like a T18.
And even that week was just like a putter show, like he said.
Yeah, and he couldn't hit it. Right. There was no.
It honestly felt like it was
really
like
he has 4 top 10s, and he's been in contention 3 times, and he's got 2 solo 2s and a win. And it's weird. It's just weird how this season has played out.
So he's got really 4 top 10s, and the best field was at Colonial.
Yeah, and that was a weak top 10 too.
I don't know. It's one win.
I mean, he never had a chance.
Yeah, never had a chance, and when he finished his round, he was like T12.
Yeah, you're right.
So
because it was playing super hard.
We'll see. But to be honest, like this week,
that's a low key like nightmare. Just thinking back on it, like that was a week he could have played B golf and won that tournament. Given his playing style, which is annoying. But again, we're not going to draw on the past. I think it's important to look at this week. Scottish Open is, I wouldn't say a good chance to win, but a good chance to find something. He loves this type of golf. Again, he shot 5 under today. I get it's tough because again, there's no pressure on these rounds, but
yeah, I'd kind of like to make because I know people talk about like, oh, it's just a practice round. But when you were at the Travelers for the Pro-Am, he hit 2 balls OB on Travelers Day or 1 OB, and he had an iron shot. That was like that stuff doesn't just go away.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you.
Like you can't look at a practice and say, oh, it's just a practice round.
I'm more looking at the 5 under saying like.
Right. No, and I think that's good.
But that doesn't mean he's going to shoot 500.
Right. I agree. I agree with that. I think you can take certain pieces of it and say, okay, that's cool.
But no,
Xander's playing really well, and he just shot the course record at Adari Manor, right? And that's kind of the like his game is in cruise control. He's continuing to play well. You don't just shoot the course record because it's a practice round, right? Like it's a big time round. So
no, if you look at the names that like were near the top of the leaderboard at the McManus Pro-Am, these are guys that have been in form as of late. Like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And who knows if he would have been in 3 under which I don't know what's that, like T8 or 10 or something there.
T13.
T13. All right, so maybe 2 under because he probably misses the putt that he picked up. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of speculation, but
I mean, it's better to play good in a pro than to play bad.
oh well, yeah. I guess that's also kind of my point. Is like
Yeah.
if you go shoot 5 under at a course like that, where a lot of dudes are having some troubles anyway, like you're clearly doing something right and you're playing pretty well. But who knows? I mean, when's the last time we had a Thursday that was where he got himself out kind of in it?
It's Genesis.
Oh man.
That's 5 months ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess he was in it after the RBC Thursday, but it wasn't like a round that I was like, to be fair, part of that though was like, he's not going to keep this up, right? Like that wasn't a course he was supposed to win at. So yeah. I didn't really think he, like, what did he shoot the first round? Like 4?
It was like 2 or 3 under, 2 under.
So what was the good round? 6?
The weekend was 4 under, 5 under, I think. Or yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just a good weekend. I
He's
like
brutal in first round.
2 equals always help.
Right.
So.
Well, yeah, there's no explosion out of the gate.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's how you kind of get behind the 8 ball. And I guess Byron Nelson, what he shoot. But even then, that was like 3 under, right? It wasn't that great.
He shot 67, but like that's not anything crazy.
5 under.
5 under, and that's
okay. That's not too bad.
That's
then.
like even par. Yeah.
Not even par. That's mean.
No, it's not. I'll do Mr. Ranch like Bryson did Augusta.
Yeah, par 67.
Trying to think of anything else.
It's actually like a par 66 though, right? Like 6 greens are reachable under regulation, I think.
At Augusta for Bryson? Mr. Ranch.
Mr. Ranch.
Well, yeah,
there was that drivable 7th, the drivable 14th, and then the par 5s.
Well, okay, so the 4 par 5s, the 14th is drivable.
And then like that 6th, 7th hole, whatever that was.
Oh, yeah, the short 6th, yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Ranch agenda is well. Yeah, it's all right.
Just make 14 a par 3.
And that's also just like very annoying that we got. I mean, Jordan. I mean, Tom Hoagie and KH Lee are probably never again going to have Sunday rounds like that. Yeah. So very frustrating. So I guess you're right, Dan. You can't really say that. So what does he have? He has 2 solo 2s.
Yeah. No. Well, it just kind of speaks to the fact that like.
So think about this. So let's say he gets another solo 2 at the Open, which would kill. But let's just say that. If you were told at the beginning of the year he had 1 win and 3 solo 2s, you'd think he had played pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been hot and cold. So
exactly. That's what it was just a hot and cold type of season. So
right. And but I also think part of inconsistency where your peaks are high can be critical to winning. Like that, you win a lot by having a putter that is either really hot or really cold.
Yeah.
You win more than like what Schauffele or Finau. I guess Schauffele started to win a lot now and he's out of the gate and the floodgates are opening. But like Finau, just uber consistent the whole time. And he wins twice in his career. Whereas like, I think Spieth was just so good, right? But yeah,
you look at someone like
JT, how much we love JT. When he wins, it's because his putter is like
it's
a top 5 putter, right?
Well, his ball striking is always consistent too. Like he gives himself more chance.
Bradley is made a career out of. Is waiting for
right. That's a perfect example.
The 2 or 3 weeks a year where his putter is on.
He's in contention,
and he might win a big payday, and he wins one of them maybe. Like he almost won the Wells Fargo. He's older now, but like back in the middle of his career, that's how he made his money. He lived on top on T48s all year and just waited for those 3 weeks a year where he had a hot putter, and that's how he cashed. Now that's not the Jordan I want to see. But
it's not an elite golfer.
It's not an elite golfer.
It's less fun.
it is less fun. But again, we'll see. I still think that Jordan Spieth is not back to being someone that you're scared of on Sunday, which is unfortunate. But I think he'll get there again. I'm not too worried.
You got to put yourself in the picture.
Yeah, I think that this is a big 2-week stretch because we've seen everything basically go wrong with the putter this year. He hasn't putted well, of course, he usually does. Because even Pebble, he only putted well one of the rounds.
He lost the tournament because of the putter on Friday.
Yeah,
and Thursday.
So
that video of him missing the 2-footer, remember that?
He couldn't putt at Augusta. He couldn't putt at Colonial. I mean, he putted all right at Colonial, but
not up to his standards. Yeah,
not up to his standards. And so this is like our last straw for the putter, basically, of the year because there's nothing like
he
puts well in Memphis.
He does. You
besides that, like
he low key plays well at Southwind.
Well, he can't strike it there. But he always puts it there.
No.
What's he in the FedEx Cup right now?
He makes a lot of birdies at Southwind. Yeah, he's going to. He's got 3 weeks.
He puts really well at Southwind
after Wyndham.
Yeah,
he'll be at Eastlake.
He will.
Wonderful.
And maybe Detroit.
Well, like if you think about it, if he picks off one at Southwind, then all of a sudden we're looking at Tour Championship contention. Like, can you imagine?
He's at worst 2 back at Eastlake if he wins at Southwind.
If he wins at Southwind, we're looking at 1 hot week away from winning the PGA Tour season somehow. So, like, say what you want. He's been cold, but I mean, he's 2 big weeks away from winning the entire year. You look at Scheffler, obviously Scheffler's still a better year, but like the season belongs to Spieth if whoever wins the Tour Championship, and he is 2 big weeks away from that.
Yeah,
so
that's fair. But
we beg to differ.
Not dead yet.
Jordan, who do you think about last year though? Like you think about Cantlay, right?
Hold on, I got to think about the major winners first. Not Hideki.
Phil.
Oh man, Phil.
I mean, it's tough because Rahm was so good, but he only won like in 5 years.
See, Cantlay was the best. Like, I'm talking from like my perspective though. Would I take Cantlay's year over Morikawa or Rahm? No, from a fan perspective.
But when you think about it on paper, like what in 5 years, if you're gonna look back at like a Wikipedia page of 2021, that'll be Cantlay's year.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
When I look at a Wikipedia page, the first thing I go to is majors. Cantlay ain't there.
That's fair.
True.
Like as a fan, like, I mean, I'd take a major win at anywhere. 3 missed cuts at the other majors over a Tour Championship from my perspective. And I would think Spieth would too.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I just think maybe I'm wording it incorrectly. I think maybe the I don't know. I don't even know if like the common fan think of the FedEx Cup, and Cantlay's was so weird too. It's like he won in the fall and then he won early. Or no, he didn't. He just got lucky because Rahm got out, and then he took down DeChambeau at Caves, and then that basically got him the FedEx Cup. I don't know. It's an interesting.
Yeah. And again, we're getting really off the top. I'm sure we should get into our bets because that's where we.
Yeah. That's good.
But overall, these next 2 weeks are basically the end of the season for him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll see. I'll start with my outright this week. I'm going to go over to a European Tour guy. Not too often we say this, but I'm going to go with Mr. Fox, plus 50 to 1. I'll put 10 on that. So
it's been a popular name.
Yes.
I don't know who he is, but
apparently he's been tearing it up on the Euro Tour recently. So got his data golf right here. Oh, hello. Okay, so he won the European Ras Al Khaimah Classic in February.
Thank you,
And
Dan.
then his next events are a T15 at the Handa Championship in Spain, T9, T8, T2, a 54 at the PGA, and then solo 2, cut 3, 2.
Wow.
So he's been playing pretty well. Although I will say
Mr. Fox.
the two non-good top 15 finishes since then are at the PGA and the US Open. So
He's beaten up on a bunch of bum fields now.
yeah, maybe the bigger fields. We'll see. He has a T44 here last year, and he was cut in his only two other appearances. So we'll see. But he's been on a tear. So, regardless where you are, if you finish 2, 3, 2 in 3 of your last 4, that's pretty darn impressive, I would say.
Yeah.
Am I okay? So I'll get that out right. I'm going with Harris English.
Really?
I wasn't sure how to quite put some Harris English on my betting card. But he played pretty well at the Travelers, but I looked at his stats and he just putted really well. So I didn't want to put a placement bet.
I also don't think he's played well at all except for the course that he's played well his entire career.
He's only played 3 times now since.
Yeah, I don't know. That's he shot 26 over at the US Open.
Yeah, he wasn't great at the US Open.
The odds are pretty good though.
But yeah, at 160 to 1, I felt like why not? And I'm not. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Harris English is he's the 30th best player in the world, and he's had surgery. It's probably a little early on Harris English, but I felt like why not take the risk?
I like it.
And get within distance of Bob down the stretch here.
Respect it. I have Mark Leishman. When do you think? I mean, everyone talks Cam Smith on links, but Mark's also Australian. He's in okay form. He's coming off a missed cut. He did T14 at the US Open, and he's played well. He's got some good finishes at the Open in his career. So why not go Mark Leishman? I put 5 on him.
Yeah, I like it.
Thank you.
So I have 2 placements. My first one, I'll go with my nuke top 40 of the week, as I've become famous for.
Famous. Wow.
Then I have my cheeky one. But I'm going to go Homa. Homa's been playing so well. For him to be plus money to top 40, I'm going to put a lot of cash on that. Or, well, metaphorical cash.
Where'd you find the plus money?
What?
Where'd you find the plus money?
I think it's FanDuel.
And he's minus 105 on FanDuel.
It changed. I will say, because I saw him earlier at plus 100, and I was like, I'm hammering.
Yeah, I have him plus 110 where I got him.
Well, you're up $1,000, so you get the shitty odds. Whoops.
Yeah, you know what? Hold on.
I agree with that.
Hold on.
I went into positive, and you're 1,000. You're $1,000 up.
To be fair, he's trying to keep the lead, which I respect.
But we're not going to catch him unless
if Harris English is
unless Bob Streb wins the Open next week.
What's his name?
One of us bets it.
Hold on.
What? Yeah, because I was seriously considering Homa. Actually, no, it was
all right. You know what? Fine,
that.
I'll take the bad odds. But Homa for 65 is what I'm doing.
That's it.
He's got 2 placements.
Well, I have 25 I want to put on this really cheeky play. So you guys can go first, though.
Okay. Well, I'm going to drop, I don't know how much yet. I have to figure out. I have my 2 bets, but I don't know how much I'm putting on each one of them. My placement, is a Padraig Harrington top 40. It's at plus 2 something. And and he just won the U.S. Senior Open. He just racked up a T30 at the Irish Open. And he has some pretty good history. The last 2 events, he's got 2 top 15s at the Scottish. So I figure why not?
You stole my cheeky play. That was it. I'm still doing it.
Well, yeah, of course.
But yeah, I got him 210. Is that what you got him?
Yeah, I think that's what he is. We'll be maybe I'll throw a little more on it now that you have him too, because obviously it was going to hit. I don't know. Harrington's been playing great. The only thing I worry about is that he's played a lot. The U.S. Senior Open, and then straight to the Irish Open, then Adari Manor, and then the Renaissance Club. That's a lot of golf for the wise gentleman that he is. Trying to figure out a way to not say. Never mind. I'm getting off.
Now you know. My last play is Patrick Harrington plus 210, top 40, 25 on it. So you stole it then.
25.
So actually, you know what? I'm gonna come up with a new one. I feel like I shouldn't be allowed to
just take it.
You're a lot. We've had the same bets before.
All right, fine.
You didn't know I was going to play it.
Yeah.
I'm actually shocked that my top 40 is plus 290. We are going with the man who had a really good week at Adari Manor and Ricky Fowler to top 40.
Yes.
I cannot believe 50-year-old Padraig Harrington has better odds to top 40 than Ricky. That's bad.
Well, Padraig just won.
I love that play. Like, that's a great play.
I mean, in his open career, he's finished outside the top 40 only 3 times. And he's finished inside the top 40 like 9 times. I know this is the Scottish Open, but he plays good on links. And he's not this bad. I mean, he's bad, but he's not this bad.
Yeah, I was going to say 3-1, almost 3-1 on a top 40 for Ricky. Ricky Fowler is ridiculous.
I mean, David Law has better odds. Marcus Armitage, David Lipsky. Like, who are these dudes?
That's a bit of a mispricing there.
Even Sepp Straka is at plus 300. Like,
yeah, that's
this.
Okay, but Straka won at Honda, and he had a chance to tie for the playoff at RBC.
Yeah, but should freaking Matthew Jordan have better odds than Sepp Straka?
I don't know.
Who is Matthew Jordan? He could be listening. Like, I don't know who he is.
Fowler at plus 290 sounds great.
Yeah, probably won't
here's the thing, like, if you make the cut, I will say this field, we didn't talk about this, but the Live, I think it was like 6 or 7 of them are now in the field because they won some lawsuit, I guess. Lawsuit sounds maybe bigger or more like important. It's important, but I don't think it was like a massive arrangement. It was just, hey, judge. I mean, look, I don't, there's a lot that goes into legal processes, but anyway, so Poulter's in, some other dudes that are in the Live are in, but so now the field is like 160, I think.
5 guys from Live are now in.
Yeah, so top 40 is like top 4. So it's a lot harder.
Right. Yeah. Oh, but once you make the cut, though.
Yeah, that still makes it a lot harder to make the cut, though.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess that's kind of my point. But cut line gets a little bit of help against Mr. Flower this week. So
a little advantage for Mr. Cutline.
That'll be something to watch for sure.
Should be. I mean, it's not like I'm rooting against Ricky, but like I'll actually have to root for Ricky because oh wait, no, it's not my play. I'm so in love with the Ricky Fowler plus 300 that it's not actually my play. But, yeah. It's a good pick.
Yeah,
plus
it's not even my favorite play of my week.
Oh, Ricky has a good history on links courses, so I like that.
Yeah.
And let's hear it, Jordan.
It'll take one more thing on Mr. Fowler. It'll be a little more like creativity little less thinking, just go up
A little
hit.
less good golf too.
And apparently, according to all the Ricky trackers, he's got his old putter back, which good for him. Hopefully he can roll the rock, because apparently he doesn't putt anymore either, which is a little crazy.
Well, he used to be the best putter in the world instead of 8 feet.
Yeah, he never missed. I can't remember one Ricky Fowler miss until like 2 years ago.
And you want to know what he did? He slammed it in the back. He did whatever he could. Like, he took all the break, like he slammed them.
Yeah.
So
Well, you can do that when your stroke is the purest thing ever.
Yeah.
I mean, hey.
The stroke was so pure.
All right, Jordan, hit us with your
lock of the week.
I want to call it a lock, but it's just ridiculous that Colin Morikawa has the worst odds in a group. That should not be the case. I have him to beat Fitzpatrick, Cantlay, and Zalatoris. He is plus 340 to beat those three dudes.
Are you kidding me?
Colin Morikawa. He won the Open. He's coming off a T5. Like, what are we doing here?
I don't think he wins that group.
All right. Well, I don't really care what you.
I think he could lose. I think he could come in last in that group. I think Cantlay might.
That's great, dude. Cantlay does not.
Morikawa should never be last in a group, ever.
Yeah, Cantlay could be last, but Zalatoris and Fitzpatrick, I think, will beat him.
I don't know about. We haven't seen Zalatoris on links yet either. We saw him withdraw at an Open. That's all we've seen.
Fitz shot a 76 at Darren Manor the other day.
It's a hungover. I'm not worried about it.
I don't think that's my point. I think it's a Morikawa Zalatoris matchup, and if Zalatoris, Cantlay's there, fine. But if Zalatoris is if Morikawa is at plus 370, you hammer that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
you're listening to the two guys who are like in the negatives versus Bob who's plus 1,000.
That's true, but Bob just takes his stuff from Elise.
Right? That's not true.
It is.
That's not true. Harrington was not on Elise's card this week,
but Homa was.
Elise Merchant.
But to be fair, I loved Homa anyways, and a lot of my third plays, which is where I've made most of my money, is not from Elise's cards.
I don't know about that.
I've been using Elise's best top 40 every week to keep me back to even, which has been a big help.
Yeah, but it's a massive.
My money makers have been on me. So
okay, all right, but you've hit a lot more top 40s.
The top 40s are why you're up so much. You're an Elise Merchant. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm a happily content Elise Merchant. I will I will fully admit that I am an Elise Merchant, because in the end there's something to be ashamed about. I mean,
that's very true. You are making points. You were racking up the points.
I'm blowing out the competition.
Yeah. She put her thing up, right? ES Golf Bets.
I think she did.
If you don't follow her on Twitter, I think she did.
If you don't follow her on Twitter, then
plus 1,000 points.
You're losing out on cash, especially if you're betting. Just like
you're losing tons of cash.
Yeah. Okay.
Literally Taylor every week, and she's up like $7,000 this year. So with only 2 outrights, which is like 5 less than last year. She's had like 7 second places.
Yeah, I saw that. I think she reached 10 the other day, actually.
Did she? That makes sense.
Got double-digit solo twos or runner-ups or something.
I mean, Zalatoris was devastating for her because she's a huge Zalatoris fan too. So
Willie Oosthuizen Zalatoris. Anyway,
yeah.
The my random play is it's kind of a trio of placements thrown into one on like a specials thing. I've got a Schauffele top 5, Burns top 10, Cam Smith top 20. I don't know. It just looked nice. And Schauffele's obviously been playing really well.
Who won't win? But yeah,
I don't.
All he needs is a top 5
because it's tough to win.
Top 5, but
he's been pretty good at top 5s throughout his career, and he's playing really well, clearly. And he also, the other thing is he played here last year, so I know that he's seen it, and I know that and I think he was like low key in contention. I really should have just looked that up, but I think he'll play well here again. Burns top 10, we'll see. I mean, he's been out here for a little bit. He was with Spieth at Lahinch. And then Cam Smith, I don't know. I haven't seen Cam Smith's name in a minute.
Because he was like up there with Scheffler for best year.
Yeah, but Scheffler kind of, it was them two. Whoever won the Masters, I think, was going to have the better year. And Scheffler
Cam Smith is not top 10 since the Masters. So he slowed down.
Cam Smith, yeah, he was there at Memorial, but he chipped in like every day, I think, at Memorial. And then he missed the cut at the US Open. But he did not play Travelers. Definitely didn't play the John Deere. So he should find some game maybe. We'll see. I had good odds, 50-1 on that, so I figured why not.
Yeah, I think
that should wrap it up.
We'll be back with the U.S. Open preview. Hopefully, we can get a
U.S. Open,
the Open Championship preview.
We'll be reviewing the Scottish as well. So
yes,
hopefully that goes.
But we should have Elise on for the Open, which would be nice.
Oh yeah, that'll be. We'll figure out if it's live. I think it should be.
It could be. It definitely.
It can be live.
I say we go live.
Go live.
Whatever you say, Dan. We do. Dan's in charge.
Dan makes all the. Yeah, we have no say. This is a dictatorship. So.
Yeah.
Happily, and we're happily a dictatorship. We will happily let Dan make all of our decisions for us. So.
I'm glad we have that on video.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that that's going on to the interwebs.
Yeah. Well, so everyone knows you're the mastermind behind the amazing product that is the Go Get That Puck.
That's true.
You want anything changed, let Dan know, because Dan's what.
Oh, see, that's the one thing.
Exactly. If you come to us, we really can't do much.
Now if it downfalls, it's on me. Now I got to get my Brian Windhorst meme going.
All right, we're gonna end it there.
We're starting to get into that time. So yeah.
I know. I was about to ask a question, but I'll ask it when we stop recording.
Okay. Yeah.
Enjoy the Scottish.